What is going on, everybody? We are back with another AEW Dynamite review. We just finished watching the last Dynamite in July. And look, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest out the gate. This is probably the best Dynamite we've had since about two Dynamites prior to All In.
This has been the best wrestling show
Since about two
for
nights, since about 2 weeks
several
before
weeks.
All In.
Yeah. It's been a while, and it really puts into perspective those other awful shows.
I Listen, I have struggled, and I was ready to have this conversation, and thankfully we didn't have to have this conversation. I was ready to have the conversation of Tony needs to figure out where he's going, because we've had four straight shows since All In. That's two Dynamites, two Collisions combined, of just not much going on,
Yeah.
and like just building up the women's match, which I do have my complaints with that, but we'll get there when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Kill a little red spider. But yeah, I don't. Other than building up the women's match, everything feels like it's just been multi-man matches, $40,000 matches, $100,000 matches, multi-man matches.
Lazy booking.
6v6, 4v4, 3v3, tag
Yeah,
team
I was
tournament.
joking with you. I was like, well, you can tell the NFL's starting to ramp up. Tony's not really putting in a lot of attention into his wrestling company.
And you can make the argument that's like, oh well, they just got so many people, they got to feature everybody. It's time to start letting people out of their contracts. Is how I feel about that.
Yeah, you need to pare down, focus on the people that you want to push, and
AEW and wrestling, for that matter, is better when it's focused.
yes, agreed.
And I'm not saying don't ever have
Agreed.
multi-man matches. We're about to have a 6-team fucking TLC match at SummerSlam. You just can't overcrowd your whole product with it.
The problem is he's trying to shove in all these CMLL guys. He's trying to feature Ring of Honor. He's trying to feature his main roster people. Like, you can't feature them all, dude. Or feature them on their TV. Feature them on Ring of Honor. The it's not the wrestling is fine. It's just the non-focus storytelling that struggles when you just throw all these people. It feels like you're going nowhere.
Right. But the good news is, we didn't get any of that tonight. It was actually a really
No,
good show.
it was a very focused show.
I was like an hour and a half into it and was like, man, it's gonna be one of those nights where it's like a tale of two halves, right? It's gonna be like the first half is really good and the second, and then I realized there's only 30 minutes left, and I'm like, oh.
It is kind of like that. It's not like an entire half, but the wind comes out of the sails after a certain point.
Right. We do start off with the Hangman title win and defense vignette, and then find out the normal Dynamite team is commentating tonight.
Yep, Taz, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone.
And we start off immediately. Listen, I have a whole page of notes for this first match. A whole page.
I didn't write as many notes tonight. I was just enjoying. I didn't even get a full page of notes. I was just enjoying the matches. Like I did. I wrote small things to remind me of stuff, but I just enjoyed the show.
So we get the Outrunners versus Bucks, and the Outrunners.
Are you sure it was the Bucks? Because their nameplate just
Hold
said
on.
talent name.
As the Outrunners are coming out, we get a quick backstage little interview with them, and I love that the dude always is like, "If you're anything like the Outrunners, and I know I am," it's like,
Yeah, I would hope so.
yeah, it's your team, man. It makes me laugh every time though, and they do it at least once a week. And I have this theory now, and we'll see if I'm right next we see them wrestle, that they were going to wear those Newport outfits until they lost for superstition purposes.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. We'll see, because they've been wearing it ever since they won with them at the pay-per-view.
Taz made me pop. He mentioned he needed a Newport.
The crowd at one point, even during the match, started chanting, "We love Newports," which was amazing. But we'll get to that here shortly. So, and then I put LMAO. Bucks don't even get an entrance. They're treated like
Local
local
talent. They're treated like enhancement talent.
And their full nameplate is the template plate. So it just says stat up at the top where it would normally say 10 and 1 for the year. It just says stat.
Yeah.
And then it says
And
talent
it's just
name.
like talent name.
And then
yeah,
social media.
I popped because I'm like, oh, they don't even get an entrance, and you could just see them like losing their shit in the corner.
And a part of me where was really hoping they would disappear after losing. Now I'm actually glad they're here because this has been so fun.
This was the best Young Bucks match I've seen in a long time.
Oh, and the match was a banger.
Their heel work was really good, but just like character work, right? Like their matches are their matches, right? They're always solid matches, but like the heel work and the way they went about things, this was really, really good. This was peak Young Bucks for me.
The Bucks got interviewed in a closet that showed up before the match actually started, which was great. We'll see that closet again later. But they're mad they're being disrespected. And I got the crowds were chanting, "We love Newports" at one point. So a great crowd. Now, every now and again, somebody does a move this wasn't this part yet. There is this part that I loved where Nick Jackson jumps off the top of the turnbuckle to the outside of the ring onto one of the guys. And he goes over and starts screaming at Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
And Tony's telling him, he's like, "Watch what you say, Nick, or they're going to dock you pay."
You're going to get fined. You're going to get fined.
Or that was Excalibur, I think, that said that. But it had me rolling because he was over there jawing with, the announcers, which was a good time. And then every now and again, one of the Jacksons will do a move that I don't think I've ever seen them do, and its chances are they've probably done it. It's just I've never caught it because I'm.
Yeah, the Bucks play the hits. Everything they do is the hits.
But Matt did this really cool cutter from the apron to the floor on one of the guys.
Yeah, he's done that before.
However, I will say I was not happy with the finish. The Bucks went with the TK driver, which is fine. And I did bite on a couple of the close calls.
Yeah, it was a really good match.
And here's my problem. I'm not happy with the call because it's just another Bucks win, right? And here's the thing. It's not me thinking, oh, I personally want the Outrunners to win. I don't care who wins out of these two teams. I like the Outrunners. I like the Bucks.
I think it's furthering things for other storylines because based on some stuff that happens later, some stuff's going to kind of intermingle and head towards something.
But my problem is, right, so the Outrunners are hot with the crowd. Like, really hot.
Yes, they are.
Everybody loves the Outrunners. Now, I'm not expecting a J-ish WWE type run for them. Like, I expect them to eventually win the tag titles, if I'm being honest, just not for a while. Like, there's a lot of teams or a few teams that are going to be in that mix for a while before Outrunners.
Yeah, they're more likely to win the Ring of Honor tag titles than the actual AEW tag titles.
Right.
They're enhancement talent. They're there. Now they're over enhancement talent, but they're there to put people over and look good, and make people look good, which they are really good at. Like really, really good at.
But what I was really hoping for is a crazy Bucks losing streak, right? Where because of everything that's going on, they just cannot find a win. And they're being disrespected. They're being treated like crap. Nobody respects them. Locker room, crowd, nothing. And like we even saw tonight, there was a point where, and I thought it was going to be a great setup for just how everything's falling apart on them, where one of the Jacksons goes to super kick one of the guys, and the Outrunner dude ducks, and he super kicks his brother. And I was like, oh, this is great. We're getting some really, they're probably going to lose this match, because I legit thought they were going to lose the match, because like I said, it just makes sense to me to have them go on this just crazy losing streak. And it don't need to be like 6-8 months long type losing streak, but at least have a rough couple months where they just cannot win. But no, Bucks win, as always. And with TK Driver.
Clean too, like it. They didn't really protect the Outrunners here. They just let the Bucks win.
I guess a part of my fear is I can already see it. I don't want another FTR Bucks match, and that's exactly what we're gonna get.
So the FTR Bucks matchups are really good though.
They
Well, at least the
are,
first two. The last one was kind of
but we've had 3 in the last 4 years. Like, give it a break. Not that I wanted Outrunners and FTR again. We just had 2 of those in the last month and a half. Last month. But I don't know, something different. The only problem though is they didn't have...
I don't think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get a heel stable with the Bucks and FTR working together.
I don't know, because it looks like Stoke is not a big fan of the Bucks.
Yeah, I think Stoke is going to be on his way out. I hate that FTR has a mouthpiece. He is...
Well, they don't need one.
No, he's not needed. It's awkward. And he talks too much and for too long.
He is really good at drawing heat, which is probably why they stuck him there, because it's just extra heat. I don't care to see Stoke on TV. Like, they tried to team him up with Stat, and that bombed. Bombed epically. Like, no, it was stupid.
Yeah, I remember.
And then before that, I don't remember who he was with. I just know he disappeared after the Stat thing for a while, and then he was like, "Oh, he's here with FTR now." But yeah, no. Afterwards, Rainmaker comes out for a post-match beatdown. Bucks and Okada take down the Outrunners, and then Swerve comes out. Obviously coming to further the storyline between him and Okada, which I'm looking forward to that match when it happens.
As long as we don't get lazy Okada.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have a hard time ever thinking, like, I don't think I've seen a bad Swerve match in a long time. Even if the people he's wrestling aren't very good. He's really good at bringing people up.
He had an awkward match with somebody not that long ago where it was really awkward, where you could tell the chemistry just wasn't there.
Right. But we did get a really cool... so Swerve comes out to help him, and then Swerve hits, his off-the-top rope down to the floor. Swerve stomp on the 3 of them. And yeah, I'm guessing we'll probably get a 6-man tag match next week.
And I'm for it. I'm for that.
Yep. Because it makes sense, guys. Guess what? Multi-man matches like that are great when they make sense.
Right? Not just lazily booked with a dollar amount thrown in.
Yeah. You can do that every once in a while, sure, if you want to do that like once every 4 to 5 months.
It was like fucking 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah. It was like 100,000 pesos, $20,000, $40,000, 100,000. It's just overdone at this point.
Yep. It just comes across as lazy.
So then we get a backstage interview with Mark Briscoe. Mark wants to find MJF, but Ricochet comes up mid-interview and was like, "Yo, you need to shut up.
You need to worry about me in later tonight."
He's like, "You need to worry about me." And Mark warns him that tonight he's going to whoop Ricochet's ass. But he's like, "MJF, I'm coming for you." And then Ricochet snaps at him like he's trying to order food or to get his attention. And
yep.
He tells him none of that matters, but he'll see him tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty. They could have went without this. This was
one of my favorite backstage segments happens next. So MJF is backstage and wants to talk to the Hurt Syndicate. Shelton answers the door and he says that he's the only one there currently. Apparently MVP is out because he doesn't want to see MJF.
He's disgusted with Max.
Yeah, he's disgusted with Max, and for whatever reason, Lashley's not there. They don't really go into that. But he says that the only reason they haven't beaten him down is because MJF or MVP saw something in him. I did write MJF, but there's too many initials.
Yeah. MVP is a fan.
But him being out sick with MJF, he hands him the watch that he gave Shelton early on, and he tells him that he knows it's a Temu watch, throws it on the ground, it shatters. And he basically tells MJF he's out of the syndicate.
Yep. Thumbs up number 2.
So I am...
Or thumbs down number 2, rather.
Really happy with how this is going because, again, I feel like they're course correcting for what they thought they were going to be doing. And I agree. And it fell through, so now they're just trying to get rid of it. But they're doing
Yep.
it in a way that feels natural.
In a storyline kind of way, where Max's selfishness is rubbing them the wrong way, and they're just like, yeah, we don't have time for this.
Right. And again, it was actually like that whole like Shelton did a really good job of portraying that like almost pure animosity towards Max.
Yep.
Um,
Who said Shelton can't promo?
I've always thought Shelton could promo. Was he?
I won't go that far, but he was never terrible.
Well, the problem is
Opportunity and the material.
Well, everyone's going to look bad when you're in a stable with Kurt Angle.
It's also writers and here read this script. It's a little better when you're actually able to put your own words to things.
I think he was a better talker than Haas was.
Yeah, I was never really the biggest Charlie Haas guy, so
I liked him as a wrestler. I didn't like him as a promo guy.
Yeah, but Shelton was the main talent there, though.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, oh my God, I love this segment that comes up next. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it went for like 5 minutes longer than it needed to.
I put not his. So out next is Tony Schiavone in the ring with Christian Cage.
Yep.
It did go way too long. Way too long. I got not his best promo, but serviceable. He stammered a bit. He played to the crowd a little too much. Made it a really, really long segment. But it was paid off at the end with Nick Wayne and them coming out and attacking him.
Yeah. So some of the things in detail that were talked about. Christian says, he's like, hey, my name is Christian Cage and I'm an asshole, which I thought was funny.
Yep. Yeah.
He said at Revolution he cashed in for a moment. He became an asshole with feelings and it cost him. Went on to say that to Nick and Kip that he didn't realize their nuts had finally dropped. He said he thought he didn't think that the three of them were good enough to pull it off. I just punched the shit out of my mic. I'm sorry, guys. He said he didn't think the three of them were good enough to pull it off. Tony at this point starts getting stink face, and I have no clue if maybe like Christian's breath just stunk or something, because Tony was just like it wasn't even like he was disgusted with the things Christian was saying. He just had this like scowl out of nowhere.
It's probably because it was going so long.
Christian reminded that everyone of what he said about Cope when Cope first got there, like the things he said about pleasing his wife after he kills him. Something about raising his kids for him since he's going to be gone, stuff like that.
Rehash.
He told Cope that Cope did some pretty heinous things when Cope first started wrestling. So while they are very different, they're also very much the same. Christian then goes on to say that the patriarchy embarrassed him and Mama Wayne's holes were deep and gaping. He says Nick Wayne is more talented than him, which I always think is a really weird thing to actually say in a promo, but whatever.
Yeah, you never want to tell somebody they're better than you or anything like that, but talent is not necessarily better. Talent is kind of potential is what he's speaking to.
Right. He says Nick Wayne's more talented than him, but he's going to have to go through him to become the face of AEW. He says that Nick, this was actually, the very end was really good in this. He said, Nick, you already have one dead father, and now you just have one dead to you.
Mm-hmm.
He disowns the two of them, him and Kip Sabian, and then walks off. And on the way up the ramp, he's jumped by Nick at Night, Miss Moon, and Kip.
Right.
And then they actually hit. I think this is the first standing two-man concerto I've seen since Edge and Christian did it in like 2006.
Yeah, it's been a while. Everybody else has just been laying on the ground and getting the one-man concerto.
So it was really cool to see it because, again, we haven't seen it in so long. Like, WWE got super protective about head injuries and shit like that, so like they completely got rid of doing the standing one because it's more controllable if you're only doing it from one side. But they nailed it perfectly.
You're just hitting the top of a chair nowhere near somebody's head.
Right. But they nailed it perfectly. I was,
Yeah, it looked good.
Looked good. But yeah, like I said, this went on for like 4 minutes longer than it needed to, which was my only complaint. And I agree. A lot of the times where he would pause and address the crowd, I'm speaking. Like, you don't need to do all that.
I'm conducting my business.
Yeah, no, that wasn't all that necessary, but pretty good segment overall. Like I said, just ran a little bit too long for my liking.
Yeah, once they got there, it was fine, but it was just very long and kind of just stammering at the beginning.
Right. FTR backstage. Stoke says that after last week, tonight Cope is banned from the building. The Syndicate are
Which makes no sense. Why would you ban him from the building the night that you don't have a match, but he's going to be allowed to be there the night that you have a match?
Yeah,
if you're actually worried about him interfering and getting in your business, why would you not just have him banned the night you're actually going to compete?
I have no clue. So
a little bit of a logic gap there.
I'll tell you what I hope happens. We'll get there in a second, though. So, where was I? Yeah. So they went on to say that the Hurt Syndicate are lucky that they weren't 100% after their match. And then they went on to say that they're going to whoop Bang Bang Gang's ass. And then the Bucks come into frame, and FTR tells them that they hope they see them in the finals. And then Stokes like, "Oh, you're not my bosses anymore, right?" And they're like, "No." And he fucking flexes at him and walks off.
And they didn't even react to it though. That was the funniest part, really.
Story-wise, kind of what I'm hoping happens with this. Who is on the other side of the bracket? Who are the Bucks going up against next week? Is it Nick and Kip?
I don't know.
I don't remember who won on Collision.
Well, if Nick and Kip won on Collision,
it would be...
but they didn't face anybody meaningful. Who the fuck did they face? They faced like Angelico and AR Fox. Yeah. Was that for the thing?
I don't think that was for the thing though.
Who is the other team? Is it Big? It's not Big Bill and Brian Keith.
No,
they lost to the Bang Bang Gang.
Let me see if I can Google what the tournament is.
Yeah, Google that because that's bugging me now.
The current AEW Tag Team Tournament. Oh, get off of my screen. Forcing me to disable my ad block just to look at your dumbass website. It's Gates of Agony and Brodito are wrestling, and whoever wins that.
That's okay. So the winner of that for tomorrow's show. Okay, that makes sense.
Are going to go
that
on to
makes sense.
The Bucks and the Bucks. So here's what I'm thinking would be cool to have happen, right? Because here's the thing. With the way all the stories are going, what I think would be interesting is, say, Gates of Agony and Brody Lee and Bandito wrestle. I think Brody Lee and Bandito are going to win that because that gives us a face-heel match for the finals on that side of the bracket, which is going to be Brodito, as they're calling him, stupid-ass tag team name, and versus the Bucks, right?
Yep, makes sense.
I would love to see, if your theory is right, say the Bucks decide they're going to help FTR. I would love to see Brodito actually beat the Bucks, but then the Bucks and FTR beat down Brodito. Right?
Yeah.
And put him out.
Or they can't continue in the tournament.
Or maybe not even happen after the match ends. Like Brodito wins and then next week or whatever. Or it'd even be cool if they, because we haven't seen this happen in a long time, where say it gets to Forbidden Door and early in the night we find out that Brodito got jumped backstage, so somebody has to take their place. And then all of a sudden it's Christian and Edge.
Okay.
Because honestly, I don't want to see FTR wrestle anybody on the other side of the bracket. I don't want another FTR, at least not right now. I don't want another FTR Bucks match. I definitely don't care to see him wrestle Gates of Agony. Brodito would be fine just because I love Brody Lee.
Brody King.
Brody King. I mean, I love Brody Lee too. Rest in peace. But but yeah, no. Brody King. I love Brody King. But at the same time, that's not a real tag team, dude. They just shove two people together because they ain't got nothing else going on. Those are the worst kind of tag teams.
Yeah. Please keep Bandito on Ring of Honor. Or take the strap off of him so he can be on the main show and I don't have to see that ugly world title.
But no, but I would like the match I do want to see. I do want to see Edge and Christian versus FTR.
I think you're getting it at some point.
And I think we
soon.
I would love for it to be at Forbidden Door somehow, even though they're not in this tournament. And the only way I know to do it is if the Young Bucks do end up joining with FTR in terms of having this little weird stable that they're going to do. And I hope Stokely still stays in it. And Stoke gets picked on by the Bucks all the time. Would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's just some fantasy booking. Either way, we'll see what happens.
Indeed.
We'll move back on to the actual show. Then we get our second match. AEW World Title match, which was really weird to see this in the middle of the fucking show.
Yes, and this is where my problems with the show happen. Not the match. The match was absolutely awesome. Good TV World Championship match. Just why here?
Yeah.
Why here?
You know, funny enough, as much as it's been irritating seeing Moxley with the Death Riders everywhere for the last several months, the one thing I will not take away from this match specifically, these two have insane chemistry together. And honestly, I just think it's because they just like to beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to their chemistry. It's not like they're, chain wrestling and doing all that. It's fucking elbows and clotheslines and pile drivers and just slapping each other. It's just standing in front of one another and just doing physical things.
Someone's got to do something about camera angles. Now, this isn't an issue I have where like something was shown during the match that shouldn't be shown or anything like that. This absolutely, there's somebody standing outside of the ring there are like 3 moments during the match where the camera angle is aimed up at Adam Page in the ring, and Adam Page looks like a little person. And it's because of the way the camera's angled. And I get so confused for a second. I'm like, dude, I know the motherfucker's like 6'3".
I don't know if he's that tall, but he's over 6 feet.
How tall is Adam Page?
Yes, because the internet's going to tell you the truth.
He is. I said Adam Page. Oh, he's 6 foot.
Okay.
6 foot.
It was a little more. It was a little more truthful than I thought.
6 foot 1 inch is his actual build height, but apparently he's 6 foot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you could tell he's about 6 foot. I've seen him and been near to him at shows and conventions and stuff.
But yeah, no, he the way the camera angles looked, he looked like 3 feet, and it looked funny. So Mox hits this pile driver on Page on the steel steps. Fun times.
Yep, that was my first note.
Page hits a dead eye on the announce table to get back in.
Are you reading my notes?
They get in the ring. Page hits another dead eye at some point. Hits him with the label lock. I love that.
There was another pile driver on the apron. That was really wanting to drop motherfuckers on their heads tonight.
There were a couple times where you could actually see Page's head poking through the bottom of Mox's legs, and I got nervous. But
yeah, he was busted open on the top of his head.
I give it up to him though. They're really good at doing their pile drivers. I love Mox has this move that is the opposite of how it works for anybody else. Mox gets fired up. He like hulks up in a match, and it always leads to him getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
Always.
Leads to him taking a bump.
Like, he even almost does the fucking moving of the arms Hulk Hogan would do, and he'd start stomping around the ring, and then he just gets his ass beat. And it's like him hulking up energizes the person across from him. Great times. Great times. Ref eventually gets knocked out during a Deadeye. Death Riders show up, which was expected. And they start to cause some distraction with the two that are outside. Marina Shafir slides the title in to Mox. Mox hits Paige with the title. Paige ends up kicking out at 2. Shafir gets booted from ringside, but she's like fighting against security. Security finally starts to escort the three of them away from the ring. As they're being escorted, my original picture that I had for the thumbnail was Darby jumping off of the balcony onto the Death Riders, which was really cool.
Yeah, I could see that being good.
But it was way too dark of a screenshot because it was not well lit there.
Ah.
So I did not go with that.
Yeah, so Mox is distracted by all of that going on out there.
And then he gets buckshot, dead-eyed, and then buckshot again.
Yep.
Paige wins. 1, 2, 3. Good into the match.
Good into the match. A little overbooky, but understandable. You got to protect Mox. He is a star.
And
so
in that effort too, it wasn't even just he hit the buckshot, tried to get the pin, didn't get the 3 count, so he decided to dead-eye him. No, he buckshot, picked him up,
dead-eyed him, and then buckshot him again.
And then jumped out and buckshot him again. So it's like he knew he had to stack up 3 specials.
Yep.
Just to get the win.
3 specials. Some no mercy left there. Yeah.
If you're stacking up 3 specials, that's more of a SmackDown thing.
Well, you can get 3 specials on when your spirit meter's going. But the excuse me, the finish of the match gets Paige over, protects Mox, sets up Mox and Darby for the eventual match at what I assume is Forbidden Door.
I hope not. I want to see this be it all out. And I say that because Forbidden Door, and this is what I'm hoping doesn't end up happening, right? Forbidden Door specifically is AEW's one pay-per-view where it's supposed to be New Japan, them, MCLL, or whoever it is. Or I think it's MCL, CMLL.
MCL.
The cafeteria
CMLL.
people.
CMLL.
But yeah, it's supposed to be their cross-brand pay-per-view that has...
But that's fucking every night. That's all the TV.
Right, but this is a pay-per-view. But you're talking about 1 or 2 people show up. This is supposed to be...
You're going to get Old Man Ishii. You're going to get fucking...
Listen, there's rumor that Tanahashi is supposed to be in something, and I swear to God, let that man's legs go. I don't need Tanahashi in any more matches ever again. I love the things that he's done for the business.
I don't want to see Naito. I don't want to see Tanahashi. I don't want to see Ishii. I'm done with that stuff. That stuff's so 2016.
But yeah, no. I don't want it to be, oh yeah, it's Forbidden Door, but it's like, oh, but it's not Forbidden Door. It's just another...
So you'll probably get Kenny will be back like the week before to set up some match with the Golden Lovers versus whomever.
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm just kind of over the Forbidden Door idea.
I'm not. I love the Forbidden Door idea. I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. I love CMLL.
It was good once.
I have watched 2 of them, and I've enjoyed them both.
Yeah, it was good once. Nevertheless.
But at the end of the day, here's my thing, right? If it's not going to be Forbidden Door in what it is, then they just need to change the name.
I agree.
I obviously stand opposite of your opinion on this, though, because I love Forbidden Door. I want to see more CMLL and more in.
I don't. I'm over the CMLL arrangement. New Japan. Who's even over there now? Gabe Kidd's come over. He's hurt now, so that's not exciting. Naito is not Naito anymore. Okada's over here. Tanahashi is old. Ishii is old. Like, who is there that's a big draw that you're wanting to see?
I don't know who anybody is over there, but I still like to see them wrestle. They're usually pretty good.
In multi-man matches.
Unless it's Old Man Tanahashi, like I said. I don't need to see... his knees are gone, guys.
I'd take Tanahashi over Ishii.
I would.
I don't need to see the old Stone Bulldog or whatever just sit there and get in a slap fight in the middle of the fucking ring. do a fucking vertical suplex and then tag out and be done.
Yeah. Now, I will agree with I don't want Ring of Honor involved, but that's because we see so much of Ring of Honor right now. So much.
We see just as much CMLL as we do Ring of Honor.
I don't think so.
The Hechiceros, the
Hechicero's actually signed with AEW.
Where'd he come from?
It doesn't matter where he came from.
It's the same thing.
No, that's like saying right now we're pretty much just watching WWE Light because almost everybody in their fucking top stars are from WWE.
Bandito's from where? Well, Bandito wrestled.
Bandito is also legit signed with AEW.
Yeah, I'm aware, but it's still I'm just over it.
The one I will agree with that I am tired of seeing.
Hologram.
No, I enjoy Hologram. But
it's Lucha Glacier.
Listen, I liked Glacier though, so I can't complain about that.
It's TK's creator wrestler from fucking the first 2 SmackDown games. It's just
there is one guy specifically.
Dralistico.
No, Dralistico is also with AEW.
Mystico.
Now Mystico, I will never be tired of seeing. I love Mystico. I do think now obviously he hasn't been on the show in a couple weeks. But I've always been a fan of Mystico. I'm still so mad that they treated him so poorly in WWE.
He had a hand in that himself, but
yeah. I like
anyways, we have gone so off the rails.
We have. Match 3. Mascara Dorada is the guy I was trying to think of that I'm tired of seeing. Match 3, Athena and Billy Starks versus Alex Windsor and Toni Storm. Athena and Billy win with the O-face. So here's the thing. I don't have a whole lot of like mid-match notes because it's a very standard Athena / Toni Storm style match, right?
So I literally have match was kind of underwhelming until Tony's hot tag. And then it picked up, and then Athena hit got the blind tag from Billy.
And hit the O-face.
Yep, for the pin on Toni. So they're setting up, well, obviously they've been setting it up, but she's got a visual pinfall over Toni.
So she gets a visual pinfall over Toni. Post-match, Billy attacks Alex and throws her to a barricade. Why didn't we just go ahead and do the cash-in here?
Because
the faces, they're down. They're down. Like, you just cash in, hit the O-face again, and it's over. Like, you're the world champion. But instead, we're setting up for a regular just one-on-one title match. And that's what I don't like about this. Because she won the contract to be cashed in at any point.
Yeah, if you're gonna book it this way, don't make it like it's a Money in the Bank situation. Make it like it's okay. You have to schedule the match. Okay, the contract is signed, and now we have the match.
I am down with either way. If it's just a cash in, it's a cash in. If it's not, it's not. But I don't like this idea of like building up a match behind it when it could just be done. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to take the belt off of Toni on a Dynamite.
They should.
So it just they're not.
See, and this is where I don't agree with wrestling at all. We grew up in a time where people lost championships. Didn't matter who the fuck you were on Monday Night Raw, on Thursday Night SmackDown. Like, we need to get over this protecting the champion shit and let people lose.
Dude, I'm just happy they have title matches on this program. The WWE shit doesn't even have really.
I can't be excited for that if I know they're always gonna win.
Nick, how are they gonna make you buy the pay-per-view if you're just gonna hotshot the title on TV?
It's not hotshotting. She's had the championship for a year.
But you're talking about having all the belts like that. Like, I get like being surprised that something happened, but this is just build.
A build that don't need to happen. She's got a contract. Cash that son of a bitch in.
Yeah, but what's Toni doing otherwise?
Nothing. being herself.
Exactly.
That's all we need her to be, is
This
herself.
this is her next program. So this is what she's doing.
Yeah. So anyways, uh like I said, my note was oh no. Where was I? Oh, see. Oh, backstage interview. Backstage interview with Paige. MJF comes out as Paige is about to start talking. MJF and says he's going to come out and talk to Seabiscuit. And he's mad that he called him a coward last week and is trying to use Swerve as a way to goad Adam into a title shot. But Paige is like, no. Look, if you think that's going to work, it's not going to work like that. He's like, you're either going to cash that in or you're going to earn this title shot.
You gonna earn it, son.
And he's like, and honestly, there's tons of people in front of you, and one of those people is Mark Briscoe. So before you even get a chance, you got to beat Mark Briscoe. And this is where I said, because we had just come off the Athena and Billy win over Tony, and then now there's this, which is Paige and MJF has his contract. And I said I am not a fan of the contract people being involved with stories with the champs, because it negates the reason to have the contract.
Yeah, honestly, I thought after the Athena match, I thought the show was ending. So all this was like, I was like, oh, we still have more to do? Okay.
We get a backstage interview with Willow, which was a pointless interview, if I'm being honest. Even though I love Willow.
So very much so.
But
I love Willow too, but this was nothing.
She was talking trash about the Triangle of Madness, and then she called herself the Trapezoid of Grapazoid.
That was a good line, though.
And then she said her and Tekla are going to have their match on Collision, because all you need to do is ask Tony.
Yeah, and then you just banter with the Mark, and the Mark gives you whatever match you want.
Yeah. And then we got Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe, match 4. I actually thought this was a pretty decent match, all things considered.
I thought this match made Ricochet look like such shit.
I do as well, and I'll get to that at the end.
Briscoe was just beating his ass pillar to post, and Ricochet only got offense in when he got a distraction or interference from the GOA.
Right. So
it was frustrating the hell out of me.
Mark actually gets the win with the J Driller, despite GOA trying to interfere. Bandito and Brody King come out to even the odds. After the win, Mark gets a mic, starts talking shit about MJF. And here's where kind of my problem is. I'm not even so much mad that Mark won. In the scenario with everything going on, it makes sense story-wise.
It made Ricochet look like nothing.
But my problem is Ricochet has built up this whole Gates of Agony thing for them to be this like super staple. And then Ricochet just came out and got his ass beat.
Yeah, they look like jobbers. Then
you're going to tell me that with everything I have watched Ricochet do since he's been in AEW, from stabbing motherfuckers with scissors to them jumping people all the time, you're going to tell me he's going to get the pin and then just roll out and bounce?
Well, I mean, they did show the highlights of him beating Mark Briscoe in May, so, this is just their way of 50-50 booking these two guys until they inevitably have another match for some reason.
Right. So, yeah, they just bounce. So there was no, post-match beatdown, which obviously we know why, because there is still going to be a post-match beatdown. It's just not going to involve them. But Mark gets a mic. He says he's tired of MJF talking about his brother. Talks about not being able to see his brother ever again because he's up in heaven. He's going to kill him in cold blood, and he's not going to be able to repent because he can't feel sorry about killing him. That was some weird conversations there. Because I knew what he was trying to get across, but he was not wording it in a way that made sense.
Well, yeah, because he's supposed to be all crazy because he's all jazzed up. He can't think straight because he just wants to get his hands on him and stuff.
MJF's music hits. He doesn't come down the ramp though. I for a second was thinking it's another guy that can't find the fucking entranceway. But no, he shows up on the screen in the closet from the Bucks, which, by the way, I thought this was going to lead into the Bucks attacking Mark Briscoe. Because it was the exact same closet that the Bucks were in during their interview at the beginning of the night. So I thought
Maybe there's just mini closets in that Chicago venue that look like that.
there's no way.
They all get a closet. Here's your own dressing room. Here's this closet.
But no. So he basically tells Mark that it's a waste of his time to come down to the ring. So next week in the main event, it's going to be Toothless Mark Briscoe versus I think he called himself the Prodigy, or not the Prodigy, the something.
Generational talent.
Yeah, the generational talent MJF. He says, however, he says Mark might not make it. And at that point, MJF just shows up. Yeah, MJF.
Video cuts.
Yeah, and MJF just shows up right behind him, beats down Mark. He taunts Seabiscuit throughout the beatdown of Mark. And finally, Hangman comes out. He fakes a buckshot. And
I thought you were going to say, out comes Seabiscuit.
Out comes Seabiscuit. He fakes a buckshot. MJF goes to get out of the way of the buckshot, and then Mark catches him and is about to hit him with the J Driller. MJF gets out and gets away, faces stand tall in the ring.
It literally runs away.
And so what I put down is, I said, so what I hope happens is, I hope Mark wins next week, and not because I want Mark to win, because I like him. But I want
you just want MJF to spiral more.
I want MJF to be put in a position that he has to use the contract.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going with it.
Because they're obviously not doing that with the other one. So
this whole segment was, the whole match and segment was fine. I just wish they would have protected Ricochet a little more.
Although
during the match, I'm okay with Briscoe winning because Briscoe is being built up to fight MJF. So you need Briscoe to go over, but you did nothing to protect Ricochet. He looked so bad here. So did Gates of Agony. They just looked so bad.
To be fair, Gates of Agony always look bad.
Yeah, but they're trying to elevate them by putting them with Ricochet because they know Ricochet is good.
You want to elevate them? Start off by giving them a new finisher that doesn't suck. Dude, they have like the worst tag team finisher in wrestling.
I don't disagree.
Give them the Tower of Doom spot. Like, the motherfuckers are monstrous.
They could have come up with something better than they did.
Like, hey, let's hold up their arms and just throw them down because that's a move.
Maybe there's a reason they do it. Maybe I'm not all that familiar with GOA's work because it's predominantly on Ring of Honor, and I don't watch that shit.
I was really hoping when AOP got fired from WWE that they'd sign with AEW and we'd get AOP versus Gates of Agony because it's two very underwhelming tag teams.
Who are monsters. Two teams of two big meat slappers.
Who I've seen both teams have good matches. I have.
I haven't seen AOP have a good match since like the takeover matches with the DIY. And that was several years ago at this point.
Right. But yeah, no. That was some random long time ago fantasy booking in my head that popped out of nowhere.
Right. Man.
But yeah. So like I said, overall, I thought this show was really good. Everything that they did was furthering the story in some way, shape, or form. Even the stuff that I thought wasn't necessary, like the Willow segment, it still pushed forward the, oh, hey, we're having a match tomorrow on Collision, and that's still going to push that story further.
Yep, I'm just hoping Collision is a better show than it has been the last month.
My God, the last two Collisions have been rough, and
they were essentially the same show.
I don't.
Nobody's going over with their finish. Everybody's getting a roll-up win. I'm hoping fucking Dustin finally loses the TNT title. My wife was giving me shit because she's like, you like Gold Dust? I'm like, yes, I like Gold Dust. That's fucking 1994, 1995. Like, I like Dustin Rhodes. I do. But he's 50-something years old, 60-something years old. Like, he shouldn't be holding a major title at this point.
I like Dustin. I liked the call of him winning it at the pay-per-view.
Well, they had to do something shocking because as soon as they found out Adam Cole wasn't going to be in it, everybody immediately was like, well, Fletcher's winning.
Yeah. And
this has just delayed the inevitable.
However, I want Fletcher to win it because I think he's deserving of it. I think the man has worked his ass off. I do
Yep.
think
He has
Fletcher.
worked on himself,
I think
and
I think Fletcher's one of the future of AEW. I do.
yep,
Um, I
he
kind of
just needs to
hope
work on his promo.
his promo stuff needs some work. Um, one of the things he can't fix is that big ass lump on his head that's distracting every time I see the man talk.
I hate the name Protostar. I hate it. It's idiotic.
Listen though, I love that his fans are called Fletchlights. Okay, and
You would.
I am a Fletchlight.
You would.
Um, I here's the thing. I actually think him being in the Callis family is great for him.
Yeah, he has a mouth. He has a mouthpiece. He has somebody to promote him. Um, again, Don Callis on commentary during anything, I'm going to be all for.
My problem with him being in the Don Callis family is most of the rest of the roster is also in the Don Callis family, and
They need to lose
all of
about half. Keep
all
Josh
of
Alexander.
all of these people that I want to see him have matches with, he's teamed up with.
Yeah, keep Josh Alexander. Lose everybody else. Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and the Protostar, and that should be enough.
I wouldn't even do that, dude. I want the Don Callis family to fold because I want to see Fletcher versus Alexander. I want to see Fletcher versus Takeshita. Now, they can still do these matches, and I would still love these matches, but they're not going to while they're all together. We haven't seen a Don Callis family member versus Don Callis family member probably in like 6 to 8 months. And that's when they were doing a tournament, I think, for a number.
Okay, lose Josh Alexander, keep Lance Archer, and then there you go. There,
yeah,
he can fight both him. He can fight both Takeshita and the Protostar.
I think Takeshita needs to leave anyways because I think Takeshita is also a future of AEW kind of guy. Takeshita's a beast.
Takeshita just he has no mic skills. I don't know if it's an English thing or.
I was gonna say he is Asian, so I mean.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they can't speak English.
Listen. As much as
that's profiling, and profiling is wrong.
As much as I love Stephanie Vac here talking to EO Sky backstage, I don't know. I don't think I've heard. Well, we've heard Takeshita talk. He doesn't have that good at English. He speaks well enough English. He needs a mouthpiece.
Yeah, Okada's over, and he literally can just say "fuck you."
Bitch. That's his one word. Bitch. Which I love, by the way. That's not me making fun of him. No, I don't know who you team Takeshita up with, mouthpiece wise, because I think that is one thing that's good about him being in the Don Callis family, but it just robs us of Takeshita versus Fletcher, which I really want to see.
You'd be more likely Fletcher leaving than Takeshita leaving, because Takeshita's ties to Don Callis are deeper, and they're still going to have some blow off match between Takeshita and Kenny at some point.
Yep. But no, like I said, I did think this week's Dynamite was really good. We'll see how they follow it up tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night's their last night in Chicago as well.
Thank God. I'm tired of seeing that venue. It was really novel and cool the first two shows, but man, it's worn on me.
It doesn't bother me because, again, we grew up watching ECW wrestle in one place.
Yeah, but those shows were an hour long, and really, it was you weren't staring at that thing for the entire hour. You got maybe 2 matches in that venue, and everything else was advertisements and promos and things like that. So it wasn't as bad. 1 hour program every week.
Yeah, but then they'd have a 3-hour pay-per-view that was, guess what? Also in that venue.
Once a month. We've watched 2 2-hour shows per week for a month in that place.
But yeah, I don't mind them doing these little what are they called when they do this? There's a term, because WWE's even going to have one this year where you're in one place for a couple weeks.
Oh fuck! They use the word during the broadcast.
They do.
Residency.
Yeah. I love when these companies do their little residencies, but I don't like when it's like for 3 weeks. I like 2 weeks is fine.
Yep.
But I do also love, especially with AEW. So there's obviously this big thing online where it's like WWE fans versus AEW fans. They want to argue back and forth. Oh, attendance this, attendance that. And WWE fans are like, yeah, but we're always our show is always in stadiums and stuff like that. But like for me, I love the smaller, more personal settings of these smaller stadiums that AEW is running because I love the different looks that we get from show to show. Whereas with WWE, it's just always just a big crowd of a bunch of boring ass fans that don't even bring signs anymore. I'd rather see some walls. But yeah, no, yeah, just a good Dynamite. I'm excited to see what happens next week with Dynamite. I hope Collision tomorrow night can continue with the success that was tonight. I don't have very high hopes, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. The card doesn't look terrible, but it also doesn't look all that super great either, especially compared to this one. So we'll see. As long as it's a nice solid 2 hours of wrestling, it should be fine.
Listen, as long as we don't have to watch Angelico wrestle again, I'm good. I don't know why I don't like that dude, but I just don't, man. I never have. Like, the first time I ever heard, I seen a match where it was Angelico and Serpentico teaming up together versus somebody. And I was like, man, their names sound so cool. And then they came out, and I was like, Angelico looks so stupid.
Not what you was expecting, huh?
No, well, Serpentico was. I do like Serpentico, even though he's lost majority of everything he's ever done. But
I just remember Angelico from like Lucha Underground.
Was he good there?
Yeah, I liked his work.
What the fuck happened?
Age and booking.
Cause I don't know, dude. His shit from Collision last week, I was like, man, get out of the ring. Let me watch. I don't even remember who he was teaming up with.
Well, he went from being like a high flyer, like lucha style, to where he can still work that stuff, but now he's more like a lucha submission wrestler.
He did this one thing where like he was getting ready to like put the dude in a submission on Collision, and he starts dancing in the middle of the move, and I'm just like, fucking quit it, dude.
Yeah, it's his little thing, his little shoulder shimmy thing.
I hated it. I hated it almost as much as Io pointing at herself.
I'm crazy. Look at me, point.
Listen, and then her and fucking Brie did it at the same time. Oh my god, dude, I'm done. Anyways, enough bitching about everyone. It was a good show.
This show made me excited for wrestling the rest of this week. Now I know it's not going to last.
No, because then I look at the card for SummerSlam and I'm like, well.
Oh, it's going to be 2 nights of. I'm going to make sure I get something really good to eat both nights, so I at least have some serotonin from that.
The only thing I can hope, I can't get really good food or I'm going to fall asleep while I'm watching the pay-per-view. The only thing I can hope is that I'm so pessimistic about this card that it surprises
that they over deliver. Yes. Or they over your expectations.
Yes. I don't think they will, but I can only hope. Like, because
if we get 2 good matches out of the entire show, I'll be happy.
Here's my problem with and we're gonna talk about this now because it's in my head. Now I'll forget about it probably until the next time we do a WWE show. So again, we grew up in the Attitude Era. Some of that dipped more for me, less than for you, but it still dipped into the Ruthless Aggression Era. And again, WWE has always had a more safer style wrestling than most of the people that were on around anytime they were. Obviously, ECW was like the crazy.
Yes, they wrestle their own. They wrestle their own style, which is safe because we have to work 300 days a year type thing. Right. They save the big moments for the big shows.
Right.
Which
They save the big moments for pay-per-views, right? And that's kind of how it always has been. And
yes,
once a pay-per-view hits, even if it was a minor pay-per-view, they still had some big moments from some people that were just like, oh, they wouldn't normally do that on TV. My problem with WWE is we don't even get those anymore. It's now we'll probably get that with the tag match. That's the TLC match. I'm pretty sure that's going to be nuts, and I'm actually looking forward to that match. But listen, guys. I'm going to be honest with you.
cookie cutter.
I am definitely not looking forward to Cody versus Cena too.
No, that's going to be a terrible match where
And
they just grab a hold of each other and walk from spot to spot to spot.
And it doesn't even matter who wins for me on that one. I'm okay with whoever winning, regardless.
Cody's not beating Cena. It's too early.
But I'm not looking forward to that match. It's going to be a slog.
Yeah, more than likely.
And that's
I mean, what can you do? What can you do that's exciting there? I mean, you can't really do much.
Maybe Dude will come out and hit him in his other ear. Oh, speaking of which, so for those of you guys that don't know, and I'll talk about this too because I'll forget by Friday. So that new stupid show from WWE just came out.
The Unreal
one, and I've been catching some. Now I'm not watching the show, but I'm catching news on Twitter that's coming from this show, right? I shared one with Joe earlier that I thought would have been amazing. I wish they'd have gone that route because it would have been surprising and it's something that no one has ever. It's obviously never happened before. But
given the participant involved, it would have fit their character perfectly.
Yeah. So there was, and it was thrown out as a joke. But it made Triple H laugh and actually made me when I heard about it. I was like, I just wish they would have done that now. Where for the Women's Rumble, like by the time 28 and 29 are out there, eventually everyone gets thrown out and there's just 28 and 29 left in the ring as 30 is supposed to be coming down. But somehow 28 and 29 both get eliminated. They eliminate each other. Probably in like one of those clothesline, both of them flip over the top kind of thing. So whoever comes out at number 30 is going to be the winner of the Rumble because there's nobody else. And then all of a sudden, it's
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. And when I heard that, I was like, that would have been perfect. Like, it would have been so funny.
Yeah. She would have been losing her shit.
And it was and here's why I think it would have made sense. So, nobody but me wanted Charlotte to win the Rumble. Which is
God, I forgot it was even Charlotte. And we were there.
We were there. Which you know, nobody.
Yeah, because that was her return.
Yeah, nobody wanted her to win, and honestly, this would have been something that would have been so surprising and so funny. I don't think anybody would have been mad that it happened like that. I mean, I'm sure there would have been a couple that would have, because there's always a couple. But I think it would have been something that would have been so surprising and so left field that all of a sudden it's just like, I can't even. Yeah, okay. But then there was a couple other stories that have come out of it. So Sean Ross Sapp wrote specifically that apparently some of the stuff that happens in the show that they show is set up for the show. So even it is storytelling. The backstage kayfabe shit. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because don't get me wrong. I already hate the fact that the show exists. There's no reason for the show to exist because it's absolutely just killing
content, man. Content.
It's potentially killing kayfabe more than it's already dead. I mean, it's dead.
Oh, kayfabe is dead and buried, dude.
They're beating a dead horse with it.
That horse has been ground to fucking dust, and that dust has been blown away by a fucking strong breeze.
But now, with them reporting that a lot of it is actual storyline stuff for the show to make it look more, I guess, dysfunctional than it is the only word I could think of to throw in there.
Surprising.
It's like, so why does this show exist? The whole thing was supposed to peel back the curtain?
They're trying to out fantasy book their already fantasy booking.
And because there's one part where apparently Triple H just basically talks mad shit about the NXT's men locker room. talking about the women are the only reason. I don't know, not his exact words, but the way he's explaining something to somebody backstage, he says something about the women being the highlight of NXT, which is true. Don't get me wrong, it's true. But like, that's not the type of shit I think you'd want to say on TV.
Hey, he's the boss, man. He can do whatever he wants.
I mean, he's not the boss.
He's the creative, controlling guy. It's the CCO.
I think Rock's his boss. No.
Rock. Dwayne. Good old Dwayne.
No, Dwayne's just on the board. He's a small part of a boss. But no, it's
he's the final boss, dude. What are you talking about?
Did you see? Apparently, he's telling everybody he thinks he's the best heel that's ever been in wrestling, and I'm like, you're so full of shit. And not here's the thing: he's not even talking about him as a character. He's talking about the final boss is the best heel that's ever been in wrestling, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it must be nice to have so much money that you are just devoid of the reality of the world, that you can just make up any narrative you want and then just instantly believe it because you're who you are.
Listen, I understand Rock beat Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania so many years ago, but that doesn't mean that you need to start lying to everybody about everything and thinking you're better at a certain point than you really are. Like, listen, heel Rock circa 2003 is way better than whatever the fuck the final boss is supposed to be.
Hollywood Rock.
When it was, no, this ain't sing along with the champ.
Yep.
You want to talk about the only acceptable time to have 20-minute promos to start off a show and not say shit?
he said some shit.
No, but he would start to talk, and then everyone would start chanting with him, so he'd stop, and he would just stand and stare at the crowd.
Yeah, he's attempting to get heat.
It was epic. Good times. But no, I look. There's been way better heel work than that specifically, than the final boss, and I don't understand why he thinks the final boss is like so good.
It's ego and just devoid of the reality of the situations.
Listen, when you're so big that if you go to do a rock bottom, you hurt yourself every fucking time, can't take you seriously, man.
Well, when you're that big and you take that many human growth hormones and the strands of your muscles are not realistic, and you do anything that stretches them even remotely out of a normal spot, that type of shit's gonna happen.
Yeah. That is true. I saw a thing on Raw. I meant to bring this up. They were talking about the history, or no, it wasn't on Raw. Again, it's going back to the stupid fucking show. Somebody was showing on Twitter that it was Punk, Rhodes, and then it was the gathering that they did right before the not Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber match, and they were talking about how it was going to end, and they obviously knew who was going to win, but they were trying to figure out how they were going to get to that point, and apparently Seth had brought up, how about when I get eliminated, it's going to be left to Punk and Cena, and he was like, and when I go to get out of the ring, I can do the stomp to you, which will leave it open for Cena to get the win. And everybody thought that was a good way to go. And it kind of now makes me hope again that Seth comes in and cashes in right after CM Punk wins his world title. Right, CM Punk's gonna be so happy he just won his world title. And then all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, just imagine we get CM Punk kneeling in the ring, holding the title, looking down at the title, kneeling over, and out of fucking nowhere,
out of the camera, off to the side of the camera, he comes out and stomps him
onto the title, cashes in, wins the championship from him, dude. I'm telling you, there wouldn't be a more perfect way to cash in.
I agree, but we'll see. We'll see if Seth's actually able to do it.
Yeah. We'll see if he's actually injured. Everyone agrees, though, as far as his injury, this is the weirdest injury in terms of just weirdness, because there's nothing about it out. Like, there's no SRS reporting, yes, that's really injured. Like, the injury happened during the match. They stopped the match. And then we're told he's on crutches backstage.
They've shown him on crutches. People have footage of him on crutches.
So I'm just,
not that means anything one way or the other.
right. And so I'm just curious, like, how much did he actually tweak anything? Was this all set up from the beginning to just throw fans off and make people think that he's not going to be around?
It's awful. It's kind of stupid to set it. If it's set up from the beginning, that doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't do Seth any good. It didn't do LA Knight any good.
Right.
I don't see why it would be kayfabe and set up, and it just doesn't make any sense.
But there's also rumors that if he is actually injured and he is going to be out for a long time, go ahead and let Braun Breaker cash in and win the championship with it.
No, I don't want to see Breaker with a championship yet.
No, he needs a little more work. Dude's a beast in the ring, but
he needs seasoning. Yeah, he needs seasoning.
But we'll talk way more about all of that Friday. So yeah, that is the show for tonight. Again, we'll be back every night this week for
something.
We got, dude, I'm so glad Collision's not on Saturday. That would have been fucking nightmarish. Don't get me wrong, it would have been nice to have that day off, but
yeah, we don't have a day off from this stuff until Tuesday of next week,
which is fine. At least they're starting the show earlier on Saturday and Sunday.
It's fine as of right now because we're in the best part of it, which was this Dynamite. We'll see how we feel after Collision tomorrow, knowing we have a pending SmackDown.
It's not even Collision I'm worried about. It's that fucking SmackDown, because I'm going to try and find a way to watch it. I'm going to see if I can get my VPN to work. If not, I'll get a new VPN because I have the money for it right now. I just got a fat bonus on my paycheck.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. That's the end of it. We love y'all. All
right.
-3 of you that listen. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Later.